That orange Dutch oven I have is so massive and deep. I had to switch out the pot at the end there just to get a good shot of what it looks like when finished. So I don't know if you caught it, but at the end there was added peanuts and, believe it or not, some golden raisins. Now, I never thought I would be adding raisins to anything other than my mom's Jamaican bread pudding. Side note, that bread pudding is maybe another day. I added these items at the end of the recipe because I wasn't 100% fully committed to whether this would be like a good idea or not. But after trying these ingredients in a pineapple fried rice at a particular restaurant in Philly a few weeks ago, you could say it was like biting into a cure for skepticism, because I was quickly relieved of the apprehension of trying these items in the food. This biryani, unlike that delicious pineapple fried rice, is just combined with levels and levels of savory, with nutty seeding from those peanuts and almost fairy pinches of sweetness from the raisins, which is just divine. Enough about that. Let's talk about how we can successfully make a prestigious restaurant quality biryani at home. This may be obvious, but maybe not, but at the very base of this recipe, it's rice. Therefore, whatever rice you choose to use can make the ultimate impact. I'm using brown basmati rice, which is a long grain aromatic rice. Although I started off soaking my rice, that step isn't a must, but it's really easy to do, especially while you're prepping. You can choose to go with a different rice, just make sure your liquid ratios are that of the package directions. Also, use a heavy bottom pot or large skillet here. If you're unaware, heavy bottom pots help distribute heat evenly, making it great for something like stews, sauces, or something similar to this rice. One of the cooking techniques we use here is called toasting. In this recipe, we're doing it with part of the spices and then second with the rice. When toasting your spices, it's really all about just keeping the spices moving. It also helps if you have like a little residual oil in there. So don't be afraid to add in a little bit more oil to keep the spices from sticking to the bottom and ultimately burning. Once the spices start to release their aroma, you're ready to move on. The very same scenario is going to happen once you get your rice in there to toast. So this makes it a good idea to have all your ingredients lined up, ready to go in. This way, they could just be added to the pot and there's zero downtime and risk of burning. Keep in mind, a little buildup at the bottom isn't a bad thing. Once you get a little bit more liquids in there, just scrape it and it incorporates some of the best flavor. This biryani has everything that you need. So this isn't a side meal, nor a meal that you would even need a side with. All of it is formed into one. Your side, your protein, with a heavy dose of anti-inflammation properties. You can certainly swap out some of the veggies, or if you have an idea of what you're doing, add in some. Cauliflower can go in there. You could add in some green peas, some spinach. I guess what I'm saying is don't be afraid to experiment with what will help you in your diet, or even boost your biryani to be perfect in your eyes. If you ever fail making a rice dish because it's either too mushy or it's a little undercooked, just don't give up on those because they're not failures. Each of those scenarios can be fixed and made better. Ultimately, if it's mushy, you just need to dry it out. And I'll have some techniques linked on my webpage. And if it happens to be on the other end of the spectrum where it's a little too hard, really just need to add liquid and keep cooking. This full recipe with techniques, tips, and tricks can be found linked in the description or at my website, makeitdairyfree.com. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, believe in good. Peace.